everybody out today. Give yourselves a big round of applause for coming out. My name is Sean Slade, and I'm a personal trainer at Hybrid Fitness Center. I'm also a master's student at the University of Western studying health promotion. As well as that, I am a co-host of the Outlaws of Health podcast, as well as a proud member of the Weston A. Price Foundation London chapter. So now what I'd like you guys to do is turn to somebody who you don't know and introduce yourself and tell them, ask them why they're here. So go ahead, I'll give you guys a second to do that. Say hello.
Good day.
Yeah.
Good day.
All right, everybody. Now, the reason why I do this is because today is such a great event. I don't want to see the passion and the energy that's here today fizzle out after today. I'm hoping that we can all network, meet somebody, find out what they do, and hopefully something can come out of today where next year we can come back and say the London community has done such great things to support the stop of GMOs and stopping Monsanto. So hopefully something can come out of today. The reason why I decided to do this and the reason why I'm here today is to support sustainability. Now, the reason why I say that is because I believe that if we continue to allow big business to carry out operations in the absence of a health consciousness and also have government scarcely and sometimes questionably regulate industry with the same lack of health consciousness, then we will ultimately face a decline in our health of not only ourselves but our planet. And I ask you, does this sound sustainable? No! I didn't think so. And in support of this, there's two issues that we talked about recently on the Outlaws of Health podcast, and one of our members, or one of the hosts of the show, Zach Sheik, is actually up in Toronto right now speaking at the Toronto event. And Zach's from London, and Zach started a petition to label GMOs in Ontario. He has now taken that petition and incorporated it with a lot of other events and a lot of other organizations. But mainly 2 points that I want to point out that I'm sure all of you are well aware of. Long-term studies on GMOs products have never been conducted until recently. In 2012, the first long-term study was conducted on GMO seeds, and that was the first study that was done for over 3 months. Every other test that has been done on Monsanto seeds has only been up to 12 weeks, and what's worse is if you think that those products are in absolutely everything, and then now they're starting to find that there's numerous health side effects because of this. Now, this was also the first third-party study done on Monsanto seeds. So that means that Monsanto does not allow third-party testing on their seeds. And we have to stop this. We have to start demanding that true science is done and that we know the true effects of these seeds. I won't get into some of the health side effects from it, but basically what happens with genetically modified organisms, it attacks your brain and it also leads to metabolic dysfunctions. So GMOs make you fat, for lack of a better word, and we are faced with an obesity epidemic today in North America directly related to these GMOs, and we are now finding this out more and more every day. So that's very alarming. What's even more alarming is the second thing we talked about on the podcast, and that's the recent Monsanto Protection Act. Is everybody familiar with this? Yeah, and basically what they're doing, they had created this act themselves, and they attached it to a spending bill that actually got passed through in the U.S. Congress or U.S. Senate. I'm not too sure exactly where yet, but representatives, there we go, the House of Representatives, thank you. So what happened is that they created this act, and it actually says that if anybody is harmed consuming Monsanto's products, then that Monsanto cannot be prosecuted for the harm done to the consumer. And this cannot be stood for. It is very scary given the above fact that we don't know the true long-term effects of these. And it's also scary to see that these wheat, corn, and soy that is genetically modified, it's everywhere in Ontario's farm fields. It's absolutely, the byproducts, high fructose corn syrup, is now being linked to heart disease, diabetes, and all these diseases blamed on a whole bunch of other things throughout the last 20, 30 years. And now we're finding direct links to GMOs. We have to put a stop to this. And I have one question before I pass the mic over, because I'm taking a little bit of time. Is who would you rather pay? Would you rather pay the doctors for their medicine after you eat genetically modified foods? Or would you rather pay the organic farmer? Organic
Okay, so we do have today. What she would like me to let everyone know is that the small farmers need your support. Without your support, they end up renting or, as worst case scenario, selling off their land to people that are big corporate, which means that they don't care what they plant. The other thing is that she wanted to let people know that when you're renting your land out, get it in signature. What is allowed to be grown. Because otherwise, you're just letting them do whatever they want, and in your backyard, it could be sprayed, which means it's going to affect your water, it's going to affect your animals if you have any, and your children if you have them too. So I've just brought this to her attention, and coming next year, she's going to be looking at switching the land over to somebody that is not supporting GMO. So encourage your local farmers in your area that maybe don't farm but own acres of land. Let them know about GMOs. That's what she wanted me to pass on to all of you. So I'm going to pass the mic on to Chris.